How's it going, Song of Ice and Fire fans? Grant from UCats Miniatures with our penultimate episode of the Season 6 changelog. And today we're looking at the House Martell with Slatfordicus. How's it going, Steve?
I'm good. I'm here again. Happy to be here.
Awesome. Quick disclaimer, it was pointed out to me on the Greyjoy one that Mokoro goes down to 1 point if you use the 2-point Victorian attachment, not the Commander version. That's totally on me. If I'm honest with you, and we can all be friends and open here, James actually made me say the other one. I knew what the right Victorian was, but James forced me to say the wrong one to make myself look stupid.
He's always been a bully, mate. He's always been a bully.
Don't call me bully. He hates he
All
hates the B word.
right.
Ball bag. 2 words, both begin with B. Winner. Anyway, put away your childish humour. We're looking at House Martell, mate. So, season 6 change of House Martell. Are you excited?
Yeah. I mean, it's as excited as I was about the Free Folk. I'm excited to get the Martells on the table as well. I just want to try everything.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, we've known each other a long time, and you know that my garage is full of Song of Ice and Fire stuff. I mean, thankfully, half of it is blocked in by stuff from the loft because we've got a lot of building work around the house at the minute, which is why things have been a little bit slow. But every time I go out there for something, I'm like, oh man, I can't wait to try them for season 6. I can't wait to try these in season 6. I had a chat with Carl last night. We spoke about Starks. I was like, oh man, I can't wait to play Starks in season 6. Then I spoke to James straight afterwards. I can't wait to play Greyjoys in season 6. I mean, season 6 has got some cool stuff going on.
Yeah, it really does. I was listening to you and Carl chat about the Night's Watch, and I just wanted to get them out.
Yeah.
I listened to the Bolton one just the other day, and it's like, I've got them as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's exciting times. Just want to play with all of it.
Mate, it's awesome. It's really, really cool. I mean,
Mm.
the community is absolutely buzzing about it. I mean, locally, the community is buzzing about it. Obviously, there is still people that are not convinced by it, and that's absolutely fine. You know, I wasn't convinced when 2021 came out, and then it turned out to be great, and then Mance ruined it, and then it became great again, and then Night's Watch ruined it, and become great again, and then Carl Drago ruined it. So, I mean, you know, it's these cool things. It's new list building stuff that we get to experience, get to play with. It makes for me, Song of Ice and Fire is very much 2 games. It's the list building element and the actual tabletop element, and they're both different games. I love being able to muck about with lists and get cool stuff in there. And this this attachment bit in the new season allows you to try out some of these really really cool attachments, and I'm really really excited about it. And you
Yeah,
know,
definitely.
uh, House Martell isn't an army that I played much. I think I maybe played them twice in my entire life. So um, well, I'm sort of riding on the back of you here to let me know what works and what doesn't work. Um, First and foremost, neutral commanders now not allowed in Martells. Do you feel they're being particularly hamstrung by that new uh, condition of army building?
No, not at all. I only ever played one game with Martells using Roose Bolton as a commander. Didn't like it. Stopped it. That was the, and that was the end of that adventure.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
I am regretting buying Heroes Box 3 slightly, but there's stuff in there that I can still use. It's
oh,
fine.
well, mate. In fairness, when um, you can't spend your free attachment points on neutral attachments, but I don't know what I was about to say. Sandknuckle Lane's really good, but I mean you've got spear
Yeah.
captains that do it as well.
Going
For
captains that do the
yeah,
same thing.
oh yeah, you
Yeah.
should definitely look to sell that on.
Mhm.
I mean, Roach
Yeah.
Inviter,
Only joking.
Jockin,
It's all good. Yeah, joking.
yeah, Jockin, nice. Okay, cool. And obviously the auto pass, auto fail, panic. Does that affect Martell too much? Do you feel?
Uh, Not so much. I mean, they've got a card that lets them auto pass anyway.
Yeah,
You've seen it many times.
yeah, dickhead.
It makes you fume. I know.
Right.
And yeah, there's not really any panic commanders. There's no units that do a lot of that, so panic's not really their game.
Yeah, not really their thing.
No.
Cool. And then obviously the biggest part of the new change is the 4 points of free in faction attachments you're allowed to bring. Are you excited about this? Do you think it'll change the way you're going to build your list going forward?
Well, it's something that Carl alluded to with the Night's Watch. It's you've got a lot of attachments, and it really means that you can try some stuff out that you might not have done so when you're trying to trim the fat off your points lists and work it all out. It's you've got an extra 4 points, so it's like cool. All right, well I just want to try all this, all the sand snakes, get them in a list. Why wouldn't that would be fun? Things like Arys Oakhart, which I didn't see a lot on the table, so there's an
Mm,
incentive to bring him as well, and it's really interesting.
mm. Do you feel it's gone to being a 5-2 split, or are you still running 4-3? How do you feel that's gonna is it gonna change Martell's in that respect?
Well, one of the changes possibly makes bringing 5-2 more workable.
Hmm.
Um, I personally love playing three NCUs with Martells because Oren brings his own zone.
Yeah.
So what it makes sense. But I just want to muck around with some lists. Like you said, it's list building is almost a hobby in itself.
Yeah.
I'm glad we've got an app because I don't want to do this on pen and paper.
And obviously have you got for attachments that ignore restrictions, you've got Edric Dayne, right? The E, so you can, you know, bring him in pretty much every list now if you've got a space for him.
Absolutely. Yep. Absolutely. Yep.
Obviously, we're going to look at him in a minute because there are some changes to Edric Dayne. All right, cool. Well, we're sort of covering ground we've already trod anyway in a minute, so we're going to crack on with some of this new stuff. First up on screen, Arys Oakhart and Edric Dayne. So the changes here are ability changes rather than point changes. So protection of the crown, we've seen it in the Lannister update. If you haven't seen that, go check that video out. And true conviction is something we've already seen in Baratheons. So the change here is the protection of the crown is now while you control the crown, each time this unit is attacked, you can reroll defense dice, and opponents cannot now expend vulnerable tokens from that unit, which is really nice. And Edric Dayne, the change to true conviction is now um, each time this unit attacks an enemy with the same or more remaining ranks, it may reroll attack die. So that same has come in now. It's come in a lot of these abilities. Domineering Pride, superior numbers, all now have changed to include the word same. Do you think this changed their playability? You can start running these more as a result of this?
Well, I mean, there's something that I've always looked at, but I've played Edric Dane before, and he was good as he was, particularly with Dauntless. So with the added bonus of having the same ranks, makes him a lot more likely. And as you said, he ignores the usual attachment limit. So, why not? Use him with your 3 points and chuck him in a unit and see what you can manage. Ares Oakhart, like I said again, it's being able to try this stuff that you might not have seen on the table. It's that not being able to expend vulnerable tokens is big. It's huge. You get him in a unit of Royal Guard, and that 4-up save is pretty reliable.
Hmm,
Yeah, it'd be good.
definitely. Um, okay, cool. Is there any units that you see us putting these in specifically, or?
Oh, I think Ares in Royal Guard is probably a good shout. Like I say, because they've got a good armor save, but then there's a lot of 4-up armor saves in the Martells. So
Hmm,
any of those, anything with that 50-50 roll, it means that the vulnerable token's not coming into it. It makes everything just that touch more tanky, which is nice.
hmm,
Um, Edric could go. I mean, it could go in any unit. Stick him in a unit of the archers and
yeah,
outflanking, turning up, and it's like, well, I've got 3 ranks. You've got 3 ranks. Well, even if you've activated, you still get to reroll.
yeah, yeah. That's nice, really nice. Um, yeah, cool. And I guess as well in having that set for charge with a spearman, yeah, that is really nice. I
Yeah,
hadn't thought of
it's very handy.
that. Cool. Okay. Next up we have the High Hermitage Sentinel and Obara Sand. Again, ability changes rather than points changes. The High Hermitage Sentinel gets the new version of Ambush, so he's now chucking out vulnerable tokens as well, with enhanced mobility, giving you the more likely chance to get someone in the flank or the rear. And Obara Sand now has Furious Charge. I love the combo of Furious Charge and Sundering. It really makes them a can opener of an attachment for any unit you want to put her in.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It makes uncontrolled rage less. You're not so worried about uncontrolled rage now because you know that you're going to charge something. You're going to hit them with vulnerable. It was always a strong charge, but having that vulnerable on top of it as well, it's like great. Yeah. Stuck in.
Yeah. And I guess as well, with if you're going to take Edric Dayne, you do that, pass a morale test, you heal a wound. Dauntless, right? Dauntless heal wound or Dauntless, yeah. So nice. And then High Hermitage Sentinel with his massive sword.
Yeah, massive sword. Yeah. It was always good take with ambush and enhanced mobility. The added bonus of the vulnerable token is just a plus. Ambush across the board is just better now. And the fact that you're getting this guy still for 1 point is brilliant.
Yeah. I still really like the idea of him in Darkstar's Retinue with the overrun because it allows you to pivot before marching, add your plus on movement, and then potentially sets you up to put in a position where you can then charge in in the rear or flank, and then make them panic, vulnerable, and weakened with critical blow. Critical blow? They've got critical blow, haven't they?
Critical blow.
Darkstar's Retinue, critical blow.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah, nice.
And overrun.
Yeah, that's what I said. I said that.
Nice.
That. Sweet. Okay, cool. Then next up we have Areo, Hotah, and Nymeria Sand. So the change here being the point cost rather than the ability. These both go down to 1 point. Areo Hotah also gets and now a caveat that he can only be fielded in an army containing House Martell, Prince of Dawn, which is the NCU rather than the commander.
Yep.
What do you think of these at 1 point? They look pretty good for 1 point.
Yeah, they do look pretty good for 1 point. Nymeria Sand I had tried in the past in a unit of Dune Vipers. It made them a very, very horrible defensive unit, great objective holder. And her being 1 point now with the same abilities is excellent. And then Areo Hotah, it was always a hard sell at 2. You always looked at the card and you thought, he's got some good abilities. I'm not really sure if he's worth 2. But now him being 1, yep, that's great. And the caveat that he's got to be with House Martell, it's thematic, it's good, I like it, it's leaning into that flavour that we all love from the game.
Yeah, and I think battle plan's a really, really nice order as well, especially for Martell's. The Martell deck is really good. It's a really nice deck. It's really it works in most scenarios, but then there are times when cards do become situational. So you have got the ability to start with your turn, bin 2, and grab a card you actually want from your hand.
If you draw 2 sand diplomacies at the start of the game, you're like, yeah, cool, right, let's get them gone.
Yeah. And Martell's nice ability, just get more vulnerable tokens. Martell's really ramping up the ability to pump out vulnerable tokens at the minute.
Yep, we do like vulnerable tokens.
They do like making people vulnerable, is a thing. Cool, okay. Yeah, it's a really, really nice change to these attachments. Next up, we have Dune Vipers. So the change here being an ability and a points change. They go down to 5 points from 6, but they lose Counter-Strike. You were obviously a big advocate of these anyway. You were playing these quite a lot. It was quite nice to see these drop to point because for me, these are what what are they called? Brazen Beasts were for Targaryens. Like I was using them at 6, and then they became 5, and I was really enjoying them. So I think people that are already using them will enjoy the points drop even more than the people that weren't using them.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a shame to lose Counter-Strike because it gives them that extra bit of defense. But they're still a 4-up save and a 6-up morale, so they're not soft. You could still, a dervish captain in them, which I had done in the past, just to give them. I've forgotten the name of the thing. Not Disrupt. Agile, the other one. Disrupt. Yeah. And it means that they're not then an 8-point unit, and they're only a 7-point unit. And if those points are coming out of your 3-4 points, it's adding that versatility. And the fact that they're 5 points, it opens up a lot of options because a conversation I've had with other Martell players is there's never been a lot of good choices for 5 points. It's Martell Spearman or nothing.
Hmm.
So having another option, it means that you've got a chance to get a high activation list out there. You know, I might even be tempted to see if I can get some 8 activation lists just to see what's you know see what's
Yeah.
going on with them.
Yeah, I mean, we speak about Starfall Knights quite often, and we won't go on about it right now. But an eight activation Martell list actually, I think, would benefit the Starfall Knights a little bit to get where they need to be.
Yeah, yeah, they need to charge something that's already been hit,
Yeah,
and this gives you the option.
yeah, for sure, for sure. Yeah, it's nice change. 5 points again. It's really nice to see the Martell list building open up. But one thing we should note is that this is the first real big changes I think the Martells have seen since release. So fair play
Mm.
to Simon for sort of getting a fairly well balanced faction out of the gates. Um, well, outside of Bolton's. Um,
Yeah,
cool. Next up, we have a tactical change. So we have no NCU changes whatsoever, which is the first time we've seen this in this update. We've seen at least one in all of them. We see absolutely none in House Martell. So we're skipping straight to tactic cards, and there's only one. And the only reason this has changed is because it's a sweeping change to Sustained Assault as a card. This is the old version on screen now. This is the new version on screen now. So now it changes into this. If this unit began to turn engaged with the defender, it rolls highest attack die value and may roll an attack dice. If it targets a Boris unit, the defender also becomes vulnerable. Now, some of the conversations I've already had about this card is that it's around Victorian. The fact that he charges him, he makes you vulnerable with Furious Charge. Um, but you don't have this with Obara Commander, right? Because the Furious Charge on Obara is the attachment rather than the commander, right?
that's right. Yep.
So you make use of this vulnerable token, even if you're not starting the turn engaged. Although it is nice to roll your high stat value and re-roll attack dice, we've just seen True Conviction that gives you re-rolls. So it'd be nice to it gives that card a bit more use, a bit more versatility. You're not sort of hamstrung into using it when you begin the turn engaged, but you obviously get more benefits if you do. It just
Yep.
means that you can actually play the card at other stages of the game, which is something that was pointed out by Joe and the Baratheons. Yeah, what do you think about this change to Sustained Assault?
Yeah, it's nice. Anything that puts out extra vulnerable stuff. She's still got Sundering as a commander, so it's getting those wounds through, and she's also got Fueled by Slaughter. So anything that puts those extra wounds out procs that. So it's getting the healing that she needs.
Yeah,
And yeah, it's a nice change. It's a nice global change because there were times, um, especially if she's in Royal Guard, for example. I speak about them a lot because I do like them.
yeah,
If she's in Royal Guard and you've got a Sustained Assault in your hand, it's like great. Their stats are 774, so very rarely do they get down to their last rank, and you can do re-rolls from martial training anyway.
mm,
you know, but at least now you've got a card in your hand, which means you can do it. And also, if you get an attack off the sword, you can do martial training from that. So you can do their ability twice, pretty much, in a turn. If you get in a round, I should say.
yeah.
If you get these things out, if the stars align, you can get a couple of nice attacks from this unit.
Nice.
And and because it's putting out the vulnerable, it means she can go in other units, and I want to try her in different units because again, it's giving those rerolls, it's putting the vulnerable token out, and it just it opens up more choices, which I really really like.
Nice. Yeah, it is good, and it's nice that it's a tactic card that the only reason we see this tactic card change because it's a sweeping change rather than they felt that there was something wrong with the Martell deck. So it's quite nice that that is quite comforting as a Martell player, I guess, that the deck is on the right track. You live?
I'm alive.
Okay, cool. I mean, you could respond to what I say if you like. I mean, you just fucking leave me
I
hanging
mean,
like that in front of
yeah,
everybody, like that on the internet, in front of everyone. Make me look a mug.
I said it's cool. I said it's cool.
Oh, right, it didn't come through. Me and you got problems now,
Okay.
man. We've got big problems now. Right, anyway, right. Uh, Sorry about that for everyone listening. Steve was playing up again. Cool. Okay. Well, that is the end of House Martell changes. We're not really arguing.
Yep.
We're fine. That is the end of House
Yep.
Martell changes. So lots of positive stuff for House Martell. Lots of positive
Yep.
stuff for the game. There wasn't a great deal of changes made to House Martell, which I think is just a couple of point reductions, a couple of ability changes, most of which
Yep.
were sweeping changes. Like, you had
Yeah.
Arys with protection of the crown, Edric with true conviction, the ambush and the addition of furious charge. So it's quite nice. I look forward to seeing what you do with House Martell. Obviously, we're running these in squads of ice and fire at the moment.
Yep.
So it'll be interesting to see what we build. Obviously, the conversation we're going to have at some point when we get around to the next episode is how is Season 6 going to affect the way that you build your list with a starter set. So that should be quite interesting
Yeah. It'd be good to have a chat about that with the boys.
Yeah. Cool.
Mm.
Okay. So yeah, I'll do what we normally do. So obviously, whilst you've been watching the videos, surfing the intrawebs, checking out Song of Ice and Fire stuff, and interacting with the community, has there been any more wow moments for you from Season 6?
Nothing particularly new. I don't want to talk about them too much, but I've had a decent look at the neutral units now, so I'm interested in some of those, and it's made me even consider a neutral list. But
Nice.
there's that. There is one disappointing moment, which we probably know is coming. So there's a global change to ambush, as you know,
Yep.
but there's one unit, one poor, lonely 8-point unit that's been left behind again, which is the Starfall Knights.
Yeah.
And yeah, they've effectively got ambush. I feel like they missed out. They missed out. I'd rather them have ambush than their ability. Still a unit I struggled to bring to the table. I was hoping to see something for them, but not to be. I'll just have to paint them up and hope that their day will come.
Yeah. I'd love to see them become similar to Riders of Highgarden. Even if they have to take a hit on the profile to make them a bit cheaper. I mean, even if they dropped them to 7 and did a bit of tweaking. To be fair, I think they dropped to 7 now. I think they'd still struggle to be used. I'm looking to have a conversation with Jordan Hibiscus quite soon about House Martell and a faction overview with him. And he also struggles to use them. So I don't think it's you and your ability to use cavalry. I think it's just they're a hard unit to use in Martells, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. When you look at those and you compare them to the versatility of the Outriders, if you're going to take a cavalry unit, you take the Outriders every time.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay. Well, cheers for your time. Yeah, only one more to do, mate, and then we're done. Neutrals. But anyway,
Yep.
Thanks for everyone for tuning in the channel, for listening to us talk about Martells. It's been a long day, so I think this one sounded a little bit more burnt out than I normally do, but it's only because of real life got in the way of toy soldiers again. Damn you, real life.
Oh, I wish, yeah. But without real life, we couldn't afford the toy soldiers.
That's true.
Yeah.
Thanks for your words of wisdom, Steve. I appreciate that.
That's it, mate. I'm always ready. Always ready to drop some wisdom bombs for you.
I need an adult conversation. But yeah, thanks you guys for listening in and checking out this video with me and Steve talking about House Martell. If you do like it, please do share it. And if you'd like to support the channel a little bit more, please do consider subscribing and banging the old bell notification so that next time we drop a video, you know about it first. Yeah, that's it. House Martell, Season 6, signing off. Unbowed, unbent, unbroken.
Indeed. Cheers, guys. Thanks.
Take care.